English is easy with teacher Anna.
If you're new to my channel, please watch, hit like, and comment below. And don't forget to click the notification bell to be updated to my videos.
Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we will be discussing how to identify words, phrases, lines, or statements that support the effectiveness of one's work and evaluate the relevance, soundness of the author's reasoning and effectiveness of presentation in poems. When analyzing a poem, it is important to pay close attention to the language used by the author. Look for words and phrases that stand out and convey a particular message or emotion. These words and phrases often provide clues to the overall meaning and theme of the poem. In addition to identifying key language, it is important to evaluate the relevance and soundness of the author's reasoning. Ask yourself questions such as, does the author make a convincing argument? Are the supporting details strong and relevant? Is there any evidence to support the author's claims? Finally, to demonstrate critical thinking when evaluating poems, consider the effectiveness of the presentation. Ask yourself, does the poem effectively use literary devices such as imagery, metaphor, and simile? How does the poem structure contribute to its overall impact? Does the poem resonate with you emotionally and intellectually? By considering these factors, you can develop a deeper understanding of the poem and the author's message. So, let's get started and dive deeper into the world of poetry analysis. Are you familiar with poems? If so, check this out. Answer the following questions by putting a check mark in the column indicating your answer. Here is the famous Desiderata of Max Ehrmann in 1927. The poem offers advice and guidance for living a fulfilling and meaningful life. Here is the text. Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and the ignorant, they too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons, they are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter. For always, there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially, do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. But do not distress yourself with imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations. In the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be careful. Strive to be happy. One dot from the poem, pick words which you consider important. At least 10. 2. Do you think the words you have chosen in the stanza help the poet in delivering the message of the poem? 3. What line in the stanza expresses positivity? What impact does it give you? 4. What ideas on positivity about life is exemplified in the poem? 5. Do you agree with the poet's presentation? Poets write for purpose. Most of the time, their crafts need to be read figuratively because of their deep meaning. How do we understand the poet's purpose and perspective? Purpose is the reason why and how the text is written. It can be the main purpose for the selection or the poet's reasons in including the elements in the text. On the other hand, the poet's perspective is how he feels about the subject. Alongside understanding the poet's purpose is evaluating his/her poem. One can make judgments about information based on prior knowledge and experience, cultural values, and purpose of reading. When one evaluates information, he/she confirms, extends, or changes his/her personal views based on the topic of the reading. As one develops evaluating skills, he/she learns to recognize relevant and valid information, interprets and evaluates in terms of usefulness and reliability. Others may also evaluate a writer's style, including his/her choice of words and other text features. Relate to it. Read the stanza and complete the table below. Let us do this. The sound. Read the stanza and complete the table after. Are you ready for this? Its impact. Read the stanza and answer the questions below. When identifying words, phrases, lines, or statements to support the effectiveness of one's work and evaluating the relevance, soundness of the author's reasoning, and effectiveness of presentation in poems, here are some key things to consider. Language and imagery. Look for words and phrases that evoke vivid imagery or create strong emotional responses. Consider how these choices contribute to the overall impact of the poem. Literary devices. Identify and analyze the use of literary devices such as metaphors, similes, personification, alliteration, or symbolism. Explore how these devices enhance the meaning and depth of the poem. Theme and message. Determine the central theme or message of the poem. Examine how the words, phrases, lines, or statements reinforce and support that theme or message. Consider the clarity and coherence of the author's reasoning in conveying their intended meaning. Tone and mood. Analyze the tone and mood created by the language and presentation of the poem. Evaluate how the author's choices in word selection and sentence structure contribute to the desired emotional effect. Structure and form. Pay attention to the structure and form of the poem. Consider how the arrangement of lines, stanzas, and the overall organization of the poem contribute to its effectiveness and impact. Cohesion and flow. Assess the flow and coherence of the poem. Look for logical connections between ideas, smooth transitions, and a consistent voice or perspective throughout the poem. Personal response. Reflect on your personal response to the poem. Assess how well the poem resonates with you intellectually and emotionally. Consider how effectively the author engages your attention and provokes thought. Context and cultural relevance. Consider the historical, social, or cultural context in which the poem was written. Explore how the language, themes, and ideas in the poem relate to broader societal or literary trends. Intertextuality. Analyze any references or allusions to other literary works, historical events, or cultural symbols within the poem. Evaluate how these intertextual references contribute to the depth and richness of the poem. Critical thinking. Engage in critical thinking by questioning the assumptions, biases, or implications within the poem. Analyze the logical coherence of the author's reasoning and evaluate the effectiveness of their choices in conveying their intended message. By considering these aspects, you can effectively identify and evaluate the elements that contribute to the effectiveness and impact of a poem, as well as demonstrate critical thinking in your analysis.
The Road Not Taken. By Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood. And sorry, I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood. And looked down one as far as I could. To where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair. And having perhaps the better claim. Because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that the passing there. Had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay. In leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way. I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference.
Read and analyze the poem, The Road Not Taken. Then complete the table with the necessary information. Remember, poetry is a rich and expressive form of art that invites us to explore the depths of human emotions, experiences, and perspectives. By closely examining the language, literary devices, structure, and themes within a poem, we can unravel its beauty and meaning. Developing these skills of analysis and critical thinking not only enhances our understanding and appreciation of poetry, but also strengthens our ability to engage with literature and art in general. So, I encourage you to continue exploring the world of poetry, to dive into the verses, and to uncover the hidden treasures within each line. Take the time to read and reflect upon different poems, allowing them to inspire and challenge you. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope this lesson has empowered you to approach poems with a keen eye, an open mind, and a heart ready to be moved. Keep cultivating your love for poetry, and may your journey through the enchanting realm of words be a source of inspiration and joy. Until next time, happy reading and happy analyzing.